This student estimated that she could study for and pass the GED Math in under 1 month. But then a second month passed, then a third. By the fifth month, she knew something was wrong. She wasn't lazy, she was lost, and time was slipping away. This is sadly the story of many of my students. This student in particular had a problem common among all students studying for the GED. She would go on YouTube and watch whatever video she could find on the GED. When she came to me for assistance, I knew all too well where her problem was. So with a few small tweaks in what she studied and how she studied, she soon passed with an official GED score of 161 in under 11 days. This here is a detailed guide on how exactly she accomplished that, so you can too. Take an assessment. The first thing you want to do is assess your current level. Take a test to see what topics you know and what topics you don't. Now when you take that test, make sure you take it exactly how you would in a testing environment. The test should be the exact time as an official GED test. For the GED Math section, that would be 1 hour 55 minutes. If you perhaps go over that time limit, don't stop. Mark what question you've reached and continue answering the remaining questions. Also, make sure the area you're taking the test is somewhere quiet where you can focus. And lastly, don't cheat. Alright, for the test, you want a full-length GED practice exam, like the one found in the Kaplan textbook or any other reputable online test. Now when you take that test, make sure you record every question and answer you choose. Why? Because this step is like choosing a map. It's very important. If you don't know where you are on a map, then you can't get where you want to go. After completion of the test, you'll self-grade. If you didn't get an exact mark from the online test, a good way to gauge your marks is by using this metric. The first thing you're going to do is total all the correct answers, then total the number of questions. Then you're going to plug them into the percentage formula. Now, the percentage formula would be the total correct answers times 100 all over the total number of questions. And for our example, we'll be using 23 as the total correct answers times 100 all over 46 as the total questions. 23 times 100 divided by 46. And that'll give you a percentage score, so this will be 50%. Now, if we go over here, you can use this chart to gauge where you stand. 50%, 0 to 50% means not ready yet. So if you got 50% and below, that means you got below 135 as your score estimate. Now if you got 51% to 64%, that's a needs improvement, and you got 135 to 144. Almost there for 65 to 74%. You're doing good. Here I would recommend you study a little more and try to get 75%. Now, if you get 75% and up, what I recommend is you take a GED, the official GED practice exam. So that would be, I think it's $6 on the site. You take that test, and if you pass that one also, I recommend you go and take the actual official GED test. If your score is below passing or cutting it close, don't worry. Because doing this for my student, she scored a mark of about 131, which is just below passing. Then over the course of 11 days, we improved her score by 30 marks, taking her from a 131 to a 161. And in this video, I share the exact method I used with her, and I've also used to guide others through the same thing. And if you want me to do the same for you, I offer personalized GED study planning, where I work with you as the student to target your weak points and create a custom calendar that's guaranteed to help you pass in under 2 weeks. Everything you see in this guide, I'll walk you through step by step and tailor it to your specific needs. If you're a student serious about passing, I'll help you do it fast and without confusion. So check the link in the description below for more information and to book a one-on-one GED strategy call. But whether you follow this plan alone or with my help, the process stays the same. So let's get into how to build that study plan. Create a study plan. The first step in creating the study plan is making an overview. We have to know what we're going to study. So using the test you've just taken, go through each question one by one. That's including the questions you got right. Locate its topic and subtopic. Write it down on a sheet of paper and note if you got it right or wrong. When your paper is complete, it should look something like this. This step should take you no more than an hour. With this overview, you should be able to tell which areas are your strong points and which areas need more attention. Now that you know your weak points, Let's go ahead and turn this overview into an actual study plan. A good study plan should consist of 3 key principles: clarity, balance, and consistency. First, it should be clear. You should know what you're studying on what day. Second, it should be manageable. You don't want to group all the hardest topics together. Instead, it should be spread out evenly across your calendar. And third, it should be consistent. Studying a little every day is more effective than cramming one day and doing nothing the next. With that in mind, I want you to grab your paper. We are now going to arrange all of our pieces. The first thing you're going to do is group all the questions you got wrong by topic. For example, if you got 2 questions wrong asking you to either find the perimeter of a shape or the area of a shape, those will both fall under the topic of geometry. Then within each topic, those questions will further be graded by difficulty: easy, medium, and hard, depending on how difficult it was for you to solve them. After giving a difficulty rating to all the questions within the topic, rearrange them so it goes easy, medium, then hard. Do this process for every topic you have. This is going to be our building blocks for our study plan. And our final step, creating the calendar. First, decide how many days you're working with. That's up to you. If you got a lot of questions wrong and have a lot of topics to cover, then I recommend you give yourself ample time to study. At this stage, you also get to decide how many days a week you're studying. Now, grab your list of topics, only the ones you've got wrong. Once that's completed, go back and add the subtopics that you failed under each main topic. Some topics might have more subtopics, and that's fine. Just make sure that they're tied directly to questions you failed. We're not trying to cover everything here, just your weak points. With this approach, you'll have a much more detailed and targeted study plan focusing on your needs.